All right, so we're going to talk now about brainstorming ideas. So we've developed these how might we questions, and the example that we used was how might we help high school students at my school manage their work better? And when we're brainstorming, we are brainstorming answers to this question. So we have our how might we question, and some potential ideas, potential solutions are we might use fun planners or text message reminders or schedule planning sessions or help with routines or assigning less busy work. So our brainstorming process, the goal here is to go through this process of what we call divergent thinking, which means you're starting with this how might we question and you're thinking divergently and coming up with lots of different ideas, many potential ideas. And then once you've done that, you're going to start thinking convergently and do convergent thinking in order to pick an idea that you want to prototype or an idea that you want to build out and test. Okay. So the goal here is to be really intentional about our creative process, where at the beginning, we're coming up with many ideas. We're not judging the ideas. We're just coming up with a bunch of them. Then we're going to pick the best ones, pick the ones that we want to move forward with and prototype. Okay. So the number one myth of brainstorming is that you need to come up with good ideas during the brainstorm. You don't need to come up with good ideas. You need to come up with lots of ideas. Right now, it's about focusing on the quantity and not the quality. Whenever we do a brainstorming activity, there's always a group that says, you know, we didn't come up with many ideas, but we came up with some really good ones. That's not the point. The point is to come up with lots of different ideas, because if you come up with lots of different ideas, you're inevitably going to have some good ones. And if your goal is to only come up with the best ideas possible, it's going to be so much pressure that you're never going to come up with any, or that you're never going to put any down on paper. Okay. So the goal is lots of ideas. Don't worry about the quality, because you're going to have the opportunity to go through and pick the ones that you want to move forward with. So as you're going through this brainstorming process, if you get stuck, if we're saying, you know, come up with lots of ideas, if you feel stuck, one way to get unstuck is to use these little sparks of inspiration. So if you're trying to solve a problem or brainstorm ideas, throwing in a little prompt or a constraint, like how might I do this with technology, might spark new ideas. Similarly, how might I do this without any technology might get you to think of some new ideas. And you could also play with like the timing. How could I do this tomorrow? How could I do this if I had the entire year to plan? How might I solve this creatively using something like art? Okay. So as you're trying to come up with many ideas, many answers to your how might we question, throw in some of these sparks of inspiration to get you thinking just a little bit differently. Or if you're feeling stuck, here's how you might get unstuck. So remember, the goal here is to come up with lots of ideas and then pick the best ones, okay? This is our creative process. We do the divergent thinking first, and then we do the convergent thinking. We pick our best ideas. So once you go through this process, then next week, we're going to talk about taking action and starting to prototype your ideas. All right. Thanks for watching.